Welcome back to Logical Republican. Thank you for stopping in today. It is the morning after the election. It is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. The presidential election is over. The mudslinging, the name-calling, the bashing, the incessant badgering of the left-wing liberals on anybody who could even think about voting for Donald Trump is over, at least maybe for a day. And Kamala Harris was big with the elite, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and the press, the media. And I'm sitting outside the former house of one of her biggest donors. I am sitting outside of the former home of Steve Jobs. I'm in Palo Alto, California. This is ground zero for Silicon Valley, old money, new money, elite, Democrat, woke voters and donors. This is where things get interesting because the people that live here in many cases control what we see, what happens online, how is information disseminated, how are we able to search for things, how is all of this possible? Well, guess what? A big part of it is here in Palo Alto. Now, the funny thing about Palo Alto is these people, for the most part, are liberal and they're woke, but they're not really liberal in a sense of being welcoming. Now, we're going to drive around here in a second, and we're going to kind of take a look at, let's face it, the homes here. Like this home next to me, let's say that home across the street where the lady is walking her dog. It's a nice home. It's got a big hedge around it. There's probably somebody, I don't know, maybe important who lives there. Big old fence, 10-foot high hedges. And I'll bet you it's somewhere between $10 to $12 million if you wanted to buy that house on the open market. And that's what homes here in Palo Alto cost. A basic, in South Palo Alto, a ranch house, just a crappy ranch house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe 1,400 square feet, because you're buying the zip code, will cost you $1.5 million, probably more. These homes here on my left are probably anywhere between $8 to $10 million. We just saw a Waltz Harris poster. This is liberal. This is liberal, 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 liberal. It is woke. It is a beautiful area. Look at the leaves. Look at the trees. Look at the well-manicured lawns. Now, guess what? The only Mexicans you're going to see here, really, are like this guy. It's the gardeners. The Mexicans in Palo Alto that you will see are gardeners, they're busboys, maybe they've moved up to be a waiter, and that's honestly about it. But who lives here? I'm not going to show you where people actually live, but Zuckerberg has his compound here, and I don't want to say most, because some of them live in Atherton and some of them live in Portola Valley, but Palo Alto is the place where you aspire to be if you're anything in Silicon Valley. And if you can afford to live here, and the funny thing is, you look at the cars on the street and they're mostly trash, right? A crappy Chevy, another crappy Chevy, a Toyota minivan, a crappy Mazda. But who do they actually belong to? Is it actually the residents here, or is it the gardener? I honestly don't know. But this is the place where the wealthy of the wealthiest live. There is not a non-millionaire homeowner in the city of Palo Alto. You have to be a millionaire to buy a house. And if you've had your house for any length of time, you have $1 million or more in just pure equity. I mean, these houses are they're really, I don't want to say nothing special, but you know, I mean, look at this tiny little house. Probably a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, maybe 950 square feet. And I'll bet you it's $1.5 million. Hey, look, it's another Mexican gardener. If 3 black guys were walking down a residential street here in broad daylight, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, Palo Alto PD would be rolling. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. These people are the kind that won't help a homeless person living over on University Avenue. And believe me, there are a few. They won't stop and give the guy a buck. They won't help the guy get on his feet. They won't help him get into a shelter. Nothing like that. They are woke and they are liberal, but they are closed-minded. They are not friendly. By and large, they're not happy. You pass somebody on the street and they kind of scowl at you. They're afraid you're going to rob them or something if you look like you don't live here. This is probably a $15 million home right there. Just absolutely insane, the cost of buying a home here in Palo Alto. But last night, I'm sure all the TVs here in town were tuned in watching Rachel Maddow at the there's another gardener. We're watching Rachel Maddow acting like, in the beginning of the night, so happy. Look at Kamala Harris. She's answering the phone bank. Guess what? It was staged. Oh, look, there's Kamala Harris. There's another gardener. Oh no, it's a painter. He's a remodeler. It was Kamala Harris. She was answering the phone bank. Staged. There was Kamala Harris knocking on somebody's door. TMZ or somebody got it that it was staged, where she actually asked the family to stand in a certain area so it would look like, oh my God, look who's at our door. Oh, fabulous. It was all staged. It was all phony. And I'm sure Rachel Maddow knew this, but she looked like it was Christmas morning and somebody was opening up gifts. Absolutely insane. By the end of the night, she was like a family member had died. It was over. I thought she was going to cry. The entire panel was shook. What happened? Who knew? Who knew what happened? But something did. Something went absolutely, positively wrong. They completely misread the room. And the media was shell-shocked. And really, what happened here? Well, because Republicans are shamed for actually voting for Trump or liking Trump or even being a Republican. They're shamed on social media, in the workplace. Imagine being in a town like Palo Alto and you live here, you work close by, and you're an outed Republican. How is your life going to be at school for your kids? How is your life going to be in your workplace? how are things actually going to be? They're not going to go well. Because, oh, that's a nice G-Wagon there. Things are not going to go well. And that is the stark reality, is that people are shamed for being conservative, for being Republican. And so, in many cases, Republicans don't respond to polls. So when it was showing that it was 50-50, it's like, there is no way that it's 50-50. No way at all. It's, by the way, isn't this just a gorgeous town? It just, there's no way that it was 50-50. And they kept misreading the room. There was a poll that said that Harris was going to win Iowa. Oh, there's some more gardeners. But you notice that Iowa went to Trump by 14 points. 14 points, I think it was. Puerto Ricans. Oh, no Puerto Rican is going to vote for Donald Trump. I think he had over 50% of the Puerto Rican vote. Shell-shocked. I flipped over to CNN. And whoever the Republican guy is at the end of the table was basically outlining what happened. And then Van Jones said, I hear you. And then he almost started crying. Van Jones almost crying. But there's all these black women that thought they were going to have one of their own. Okay. And I'm sorry. I mean, she just didn't appeal to people. Nobody liked her. Nobody likes her. Look, they're building a house. Oh, look, it's a bunch of Mexican guys. They can't live here. I don't know if there's maybe more than 5 Mexican American families in the town of Palo Alto. I mean, there might be. There's another one. They're all workers. The Mexicans here are workers. I'm not going to get into the root cause of all of this. That's like chatter for another day. But, I mean, look at that house. That is spectacular. The stock market is up today. That was kind of to be expected. Just a lot of stuff has gone on today, and we'll see how it all plays out. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you the ultra uber liberal area of Silicon Valley. Harris Waltz 2024, another place. Just the overall Harris Waltz 2024. Just the overall liberalism that you get here in one of the richest zip codes in the United States, Palo Alto, California. Thanks for stopping in today. Hope you're having a great morning. And I will, hang on, I'm not done yet. I just want to end it with that. Harris for President 2024. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you tomorrow.